great to be back on Polymac Particles. We got ourselves a high noon Super Bowl week style show to deliver today, and we will do exactly that. Before I say good morning to Creative Tony, my partner in crime and all things, I got to say the comment line is bubbling up. I'd love to see that before the show. And Patty from Napa, let me talk to you directly for a second. She's going to get the pre-show post of the day today. Not only because she's Miss PMP, not only because she's queen of the scene and has the most famous handle, probably of anybody in our audience, Patty from Napa. You could mention Patty from Napa to like Ronnie Lott, you know what I mean? Joe Montana. It like registers. Oh, Patty from Napa. Yeah, sure. I know Pat. Like your handle has become famous. But anyway, Patty was talking to some of the other PMPers out there, the Familia. What's happening, y'all? And they were talking about the Grammys, Tony, and they were saying, hey, you know, in the in memoriam section where you pay your respects to the musicians who left us last year, Patty said, I didn't see Sly Stone up there. What the you know what? Charles Grodin didn't see him either, Patty. Stand by.
What the hell? What the hell?
I didn't see Sly Stone either. I'm hoping I just missed it because I didn't watch a lot of the Grammys. I saw the great Ozzy tribute. We'll talk about that. But anyway, Patty, point taken. I didn't see him either. I'm hoping somebody can confirm that they honored the genius that is Sly Stone. I mean, that'd be a big mistake if they left him out. Oh, Dom said he was at the end. Okay, that's all I need. Thank you, Dom.
Okay. It better be. He better be on that in memoriam. And by the way, not to be a nitpicker, because the Ozzy
nitpick as much as you want, by the way. And by the way, what is nit? What is NIT? I'm familiar with NIB. I know the song by Sabbath. What is NIT? What does that mean? Nitpick.
That's a great question, Paulie. But maybe to intro our first ever Cut the Crap segment. Hey, Grammys, cut the crap with a phenomenal Ozzy musical tribute, but no Bob Weir musical tribute.
No, they did something for. Oh, they did. Yeah.
They did their little video montage of Mayer narrating. I want Mayer. I want Chimenti. I want anybody. I want Mickey. I want whoever can make it.
Yeah.
And to go out there and say, do playing in the band for Bobby.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Break with this, and I loved the Ozzy tribute. Don't get me wrong. We're going to show a snippet of it. Chad Smith on drums, dude. Freaking ferocious Slash out there, man. Freaking and. My love for Post Malone continues to just rise every time I see him do others. And I know he's a good rapper, but dude, the guy is a phenomenal singer too.
No, he really is. I can tell you this. This is when I like kind of perked up and took notice of Post Malone. You can find this on YouTube, and it's pretty freaking amazing. During the pandemic, Tony, you remember when everybody was wondering, like, including us, Tony and I would talk about this, dude, are we ever going to see a show again? Like, will they ever let crowds into the Warfield or, you know, for concerts? And no one knew, like nobody knew. So a lot of bands started performing online, and Post Malone at some point during the pandemic, he set up a band in his house, I assume, or studio somewhere. They played the entire Nevermind album by Nirvana in order. And let me tell you what, as a guy who tries to sing, that is some of the hardest stuff I can't sing it. I can't do it. I mean, like he's tearing his throat up, Kurt Cobain, every time he sings, but Post Malone crushed that. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, damn, bro. Okay. Respect. You know what I mean? I had to stand down. Yeah.
The first time on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack, there's a song called Sunflower that he sings a duet with, and he crushes it. I'm like, wait, that's Post Malone? And then he did that country album last year, which is really good. And then I highly recommend go watch his NPR Tiny Desk concert. Watch his NPR Tiny Desk concert. It's fantastic. But anyways, Post Malone did a great job. We're going to show some of that later on the show. Okay. Paulie, we got some numerology we got to get to right out of the gates. And yeah, the Grammys were entertaining last night, but man, lots to go over the weekend, dude. We got some new peeps coming to the Bay. I'm so pumped about both new additions to the Niners and the Giants. I'm pumped about both, but go ahead.
Well, you're psyched about that, but you're also just pumped about the musical stylings of New Edition. I know you're a fan of like you're a New Edition guy.
I saw them live. Absolutely.
Giving you props. Here's what I want to do before we start going down the rabbit hole, as we have been known to do and probably will do several times today. I want to say that don't forget we have one of our great this guy's been a great friend of the program for a very long time. Great friend to the Murph and Mac show for years. He is Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post. He'll join us at 12:30 today, and we're going to talk Super Bowl. Yeah,
the real Marky Mark, not Mark Wahlberg and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. The real Marky Mark Cannizzaro. When I think of Marky Mark, I think of Cannizzaro, not Wahlberg. Just for the
Cannizzaro, and here's the things Cannizzaro and I bond on: our love of Bruce Springsteen, our love of great pizza. And by the way, don't sleep on Cannizzaro as just a patron of the musical
Yes.
scene at large. Like he will
Yeah.
go anybody anytime. He's texting me, dude, I'm seeing Derek Trucks. Dude, I'm at Warren Haynes. Dude, I'm at Guns N' Roses. Like he'll always like send updates for all the shows. So he's an open-minded guy. He loves live music. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. Yes, absolutely. We'll talk music. We'll talk and we'll talk football, of course. I want to talk a little baseball with him too, and all things New York. But Paulie,
Good day, everyone.
Nice.
That's how Vargas has to start the day for us. One more time.
Good day, everyone.
Vargas, that's how we intro the numerology segment before we get going on the show. The numerology, we are episode 254, episode 254.
I got good ones. I got some good ones.
Me too. So go first, and then I'll jump in. Go.
Okay, and by the way, I want to remind everybody that if you're a fan of this, everybody's favorite fun game, we like to play the numerology game where Tony dictates the number show that we're on, and then we do 49ers that wore those numbers. I want to remind everybody, this AMC thing about the Niners, the rise of the dynasty, incredible.
Yeah.
I watched parts 1 and 2 last night. It was in tears. Me and Carlos were texting each other. It's emotional. Dude, it's a combination of emotion and anger because now I get so pissed at today's Niners when I watch those guys play, and I'm like, God, what you know what I mean? What is it?
Paulie, songs with emotion in the title. Well, of course, you got I Get So Emotional, Whitney Houston. Okay,
Well,
I'm going to give you that.
What if I drop the atom bomb from Billy Squire and just say the album is called Emotions in Motion? Okay. Yeah. Emotions in Motion. Shout it out.
Don't Brothers Gibb have emotion? It's just emotions that's kicking me over.
Nice.
Nice. I forget the
What
name
about
of the
Whitney
song.
Houston? You've got me feeling emotions.
Yeah, you've got and I get so emotional, baby, every time I think of you. And then Paulie, of course, bomb bomb, ticket to bomb bomb, but ticket bomb bomb, ticket to bomb bomb, but ticket bomb bomb. The outro jam to Sweet Emotion, dude. So
I like to throw this out there, not that anybody cares at all, but I'm going to force feed you this anyway. One of the Aerosmith gigs I saw in Oakland, I think it was 2010. They did Sweet Emotion like that. And over that jam, I've never seen them do this before or since. They do all this cool stuff and then they never bring it back. Joe Perry started playing Third Stone from the Sun over that jam, like bum, 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 bum. And he was like, fwam, 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 fwam. It was so cool. I was like, Joe Perry, play that every time you play a Sweet Emotion. It sounded so great.
you know, I'd love to see Gary Clark Jr. and Joe Perry on the same stage together. Share a few licks because I just saw Gary Clark Jr. last Thursday night do Third Stone from the Sun. It was freaking tastic, but we've already reviewed that show. Dom went on Friday night, and I know Dom had a great time as well. I saw my buddy's band Pirate Radio, really good band. They're on the peninsula, but they used to gig Fillmore. They used to gig festivals, Great American Music Hall. They all became dads, and so they stopped gigging. But they had to gig at Devil's Canyon Brewery on Friday night. So saw them. So Oren, great job on drums. Pirate Radio, he's listens to the show a lot. Paulie, we were his most listened to podcast for 2025. By the way, to shout out Oren Williams. What's up, Oren?
I appreciate that, Oren. Thank you, man.
Paulie, back to numerology. Okay. Give me a couple, then I'll give you a couple, and then we'll go.
Okay, 254. So I'm going to immediately start with Eric Davis, great corner for the Niners, number 25. And then number 4, there's only one way to go with this one. That's my Nick in the box, bro. Nick Mullins. That's my Nick in the box. Nice. So I got to go Nicky Mullins, number 4. He won a few ball games for us, Nicky Mullins.
Totally, dude. I'm going to take you to Big Mac Land, Paulie, 25, Mark McGuire, Big Mac Land.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that in St. Louis, the launching pad in left field, McDonald's sponsored and called it Big Mac Land. And then I'm going to give you number 4 for the late, great punter with a watch, Reggie Roby. The late, great Reggie Roby, number 4. Yeah. And then I'm going to flip it around and go number 2. I'm going to give you Derek Jeter, one of my favorite seriously, one of my favorite non-Giant baseball players of all time.
Love Jeter. Love Jeter. Badass. Jeter. Played the game the right way, all class, all the time. Yes.
Correct, dude. Yeah. Correct. And then, of course, you've got our guy, Fred Warner, dude, who's, miss him terribly, but my favorite 49er on this squad. Without question, my favorite Niner. So
me too. I have to concur. He's also my favorite on the roster at this moment too. And get well, Fred. I know he's out there working hard right now. And the Patriots and the keeping Super Bowl week alive here. The Patriots and Seahawks have touched down. By the way, Tony, they flew into San Jose already. I'm not kidding.
No, I know.
They flew into San Jose. I saw him deboarding the plane in San Jose. And it looked kind of dull. It was just like. Yeah.
Somebody, maybe it was on social media or maybe it was somebody, the PMP familiar, posted pictures of SFO and there's no signage of the Super Bowl at all inside SFO.
Well, it's not in San Francisco. Why would they advertise it?
But it's only the biggest event happening in the Bay Area right now. And
that's down in SC, homie. You know what I mean? I maybe SFO is like, you know what? Santa Clara, blank you guys.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's why they feel like we do. They're like, we're not going to promote that S. You know, I don't know.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, Santa Clara in the house, Paulie. Santa Clara's in the house. Oh my God.
Nice.
So
Nice.
moving on.
Yeah. Tony's in the house. Oh my God.
You know what, dude? You know what, Paulie? I'm gonna do something here.
Oh yeah. It's business time. It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
Yeah.
Paulie, I'm gonna put us in the oven early. I'm going into the oven early.
Oh, good. That, it's funny you do that because I just grabbed the Longbridge script. We're thinking we're connected simultaneously. I love it. Perfect. Let's go. Let's get in the oven where we belong, after all.
Love lift us up where we belong.
Nice pull. Nice pull. What are you doing?
Where the eagles fly on the mountain high.
What are you doing? A little Joe Cocker? Is that Cocker?
Yeah.
We're going to lift us up where we belong.
Hey, don't sleep on Cocker, dude. Do not sleep on Cocker, man. The freaking.
What do you want to talk? Mad Dog and Englishman in the Fog or whatever the hell, whatever that thing's called. Yeah, no. I back Cocker. I back him. You know what I mean? I back Cocker. Here's some Cocker trivia for you. I didn't think we were
I'm thinking about that thing that we always do, like, oh man, yeah, you know, Mercury, Bowie, Cocker, you know.
yeah. My influences, I don't know, probably Page and Plant, Richards and Jagger, Cocker, guys like that. Yeah, Cocker, dude, Cocker. It's fun to say. Okay, so here's my Joe Cocker trivia. Now I know some of you are going to know this. The Santa Cruz Mafia probably knows this, and our music aficionados. But the song, so he did that famous cover of the Beatles, "Get a Little High with the Help from My Friends." Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get high. He's screaming and all that. Dude, do you know who plays guitar on that track? But this is pretty cool. This is Jimmy Page.
Get out.
Swear to God, that all that guitar, that's Jimmy Page on that song with Cocker. Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I need. Hey, Page. I don't care if it's just you and an acoustic guitar.
I know.
Seriously. And I don't even need to hear vocals. Just I want to see you playing music. I just need you to see you play music. I just
he
need to
can't get Blondie. He can't fruck. Ooh, sorry. You better I get upset when
it was a fruck.
When it comes to Zeppelin, I get emotional. He can't get his blonde Goldilocks singer over there to get off his A and sing some Zeppelin. Robert Plant. How about Robert Plant, but who I love, but it's still got to break his balls. He's out there touring constantly. He's like, no, I can't play any Led Zeppelin. I won't play with Jimmy Page. The guy goes out on solo tours. He plays all these Zeppelin songs. What the hell are we doing? He won't do it with Page, but he'll do it with, Krause and all these others. Anyway, it upsets me because I agree. Give me Jimmy Page, for God's sakes.
God, dude, yes. I mean, seriously. I mean, give me, and also, God, I mean, the Robert Plant and Alison Krauss stuff is really good. But I just listened to Mark Knopfler did a duet album with somebody, and I'm blanking on who it was recently, but it's really freaking good. Anyways, I don't even know why I brought that up, but it just really... Mark Knopfler did a duet album. I'll have to look it up, Paulie, but it made me think of that duet album. That is, I wanted to recommend to people, but I can't remember it. So
no problem, Tony. While you reconsider that, I'm going to talk about Longbridge Pizza. One of our no, seriously, we're in the oven. Let's do what we got to do.
Sorry, Paulie. It's Mark Knopfler and Emmylou Harris. That's what it is.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah. I didn't even know about that, but I love me some Emmylou.
Really good, and dude, and I like me some Knopfler. You put them together, and you got a really good combo. So.
I like Knopfler too. It's hard not to. If you like guitar playing, how do you like? No, Knopfler, he sucks. You know what I mean? I've never heard anybody say that. All right, Longbridge Pizza, where we belong, in the oven. We're firing up pies, except for today. That's the one thing about Longbridge. They do close on Mondays, which is fine, and they will be closed today. But tomorrow they're back in business. I expect them to have a very busy Super Bowl week. Tony, I know you have a big announcement about Longbridge. I'm going to throw that to you in a second, but last night I'm hanging out. I'm watching the 49er Dynasty show on AMC. All of a sudden I get a couple texts. Here it is. Here comes Neil Donardi. And he goes, hey, Paulie Mac, check this out. I'm finishing up the week the right way. And he sends me a picture of his TV at home. My man Neil Donardi on a Sunday night, dude, he's watching Grateful Dead from Alpine Valley 1989 on his flat screen at home. I'm like, bro, I can't tell you how much I freaking love you watching the Grateful Dead on your big screen to wrap up the weekend. But that's exactly what he was doing. And that kind of gives you a peek into the kind of guy he is. And I know we have a lot of visitors coming in to the Bay Area from out of town this week. And I cannot recommend it. If you're looking for a great pizza place, we got it for you right here, Longbridge Pizza. Go visit their menu online, longbridgepizza.com. It's in the Great Dog Patch neighborhood of San Francisco. Again, if you're visiting, welcome to our city. I got to say that it's located right down the street from Chase Center. If you're not familiar with the city, get on down there, try it out, and then you can text us back and tell us how much you love it. Now, Tony, I know you've got some big announcements to make, so go for it.
I got some updates on Neil. By the way, Neil and his son Nico, by the way, one of the pizzas named after his son Nico, they showed up at my daughter's basketball game this past Saturday, fifth grade hoops, and they're sitting there. He's sitting on the bench talking to my mom and dad, and he's watching me coach on the sidelines and watching me get worked up about girls that are not understanding the 2-3 zone versus man-to-man, or as we call it, girl-to-girl. Because
how old are these girls?
Fifth grade. Grade.
What are they, 10 years old?
Yeah, 10 years old.
Yeah,
it's
they're
awesome.
Not grasping zone defense concept. There's just not, they got other concerns right now.
Shout out Adam Friedenbach, the head coach of the team. He's trying to get them to like full court press. And I'm like, dude, you are ambitious, buddy. I love it. So it's great stuff. Fifth grade hoops. Neil was there. He was there. Also, newsflash. I'm slinging pies with Neil this coming Friday night at the Midway for a Super Bowl related event, a Super Bowl related concert with Calvin Harris and Diplo at the Midway. Neil, he's like, hey, dude, you were slinging pies with me at the bingo night. You want to sling pies with me on Friday night? I'm like, done.
Sling pies for fun, just for fun. Yeah,
totally. That's what I said. I said, dude, give me the freaking, the double-edged, double-handled sword knife, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it's called. Neil has a name for it. But anyways,
a pizza cutter?
Yeah. I mean, we do the roller. By the way, the technique that Neil taught me is to slam the roller down first and then roll.
And you hear the crust all crunchy. It goes, I love that sound. It's one of my favorite sounds.
Bubbling, sizzling, coming out of the oven.
I got the sauce. Yeah.
So here's how I want to spend the rest of the time of Longbridge Pizza Spot. Over the weekend, my buddy Bob Wentz, shout out Bob Wentz, great dude.
No relation to Carson. We've already checked.
No relation to Carson. Spelled the same way. No relation to Carson. No relation to Carson. He's he's an Eagles fan. So he holds up the he thwarts the theory that all Eagles fans are dicks because he's a great dude. So
there's always exceptions. You know what I mean? There's always exceptions out there, so carry on. I understand.
Yeah. And so Bob, I guess, sent me a screenshot of a comment. Dave Portnoy, Dave Portnoy,
he's the pizza guy, Barstool. Yeah. One bite, everybody knows the rules. Sure.
So Portnoy said on social media, give me the best SF pizza so I can cross off my checklist. Thank you. And then Bob Wentz commented on Portnoy's post, Longbridge Pizza, you got to get there. And then I said, oh, I'm going to comment on it too. So we commented on it and said SF, they keep the SF traditions in style using sourdough crust.
I saw that. That was a good post. Yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, people, go to Dave Portnoy's Twitter account and comment on his comment and suggest Longbridge Pizza. Let's flood his Twitter account with Longbridge Pizza and get Portnoy to do a pizza review at Longbridge Pizza this week. Because, dude, everybody is at Moscone Center all week long for Radio Row and doing all the events and all that stuff. There was the freaking tug of war yesterday. By the way, I don't ever need to see NFL players doing a tug of war ever again. Unless
you know what? Let me tell you something real quick. I didn't know that they did that yesterday, and I couldn't be happier that I missed it. Yeah. I mean, again, last year I tuned in for the Pro Bowl. Yeah. And what I saw last year was Juszczyk kicking field goals. And I knew this is no longer something I need to be concerned with. So no, I don't want the tug of war. I don't want them playing Twister or checkers or whatever the hell they're doing now. I'm not interested. It's a farce. The whole thing's a farce. Get rid of the freaking Pro Bowl. Get rid of the tug of war. We got other concerns. Yeah.
Just give people a Denardi trophy. Let's give everybody a Denardi trophy, and they can go on their way. Okay, congratulations.
Well, it's a great idea what you're doing, Tony. Trying to get a little drums beating to get Portnoy into Longbridge. I would love that. I would love to see his review. He's probably I would be willing to bet he's an East Coast guy, a New England guy. I don't know him at all, but I've seen a lot of his reviews, and I don't think I would be willing to bet he's never tried pizza with sourdough crust. It's very unusual. Yeah.
Agreed. I was thinking the same thing, Paulie. That's why I mentioned it in our comment. And then I'm like, people flood his inbox with sourdough crust, San Francisco style, Longbridge pizza. Flood his inbox. If you go to our Twitter account, you can see the comment we made, and then you can piggyback off that, or you can just reply to his comment directly. But let's flood that comment with Longbridge, because a lot of people are saying Tony's. A lot of people are saying there's one other.
No disrespect, but Tony's. It's enough with Tony's. It's good, but let's not get crazy. Fine. It's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's over there. It's all right.
That's the other Golden Boy. Everybody's saying Golden Boy or Tony's.
Oh, come on, man.
Golden Boy's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, but it ain't. It's not even close to Longbridge. I'm sorry. It's just not. I got to be honest about that. Golden Boy. I mean, Golden Boy's good at like 2 a.m. if you're drunk, but like if for a pizza destination, no. No.
Agreed. And by the way, effing 901, I love it. Effing 901 says, I'm flooding Dave Portnoy's Instagram already. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. I actually think he'd give it a very good review because he would not be familiar with the sourdough crust. That would throw him for a loop. He's going to be like, whoa, what is it? And I think he only eats just a plain cheese pizza. That's the judging kind of basis. And he doesn't doctor it up with like peppers or sausage. He just eats it plain. Yeah.
And he looks at the undercarriage, he calls it.
That's important. I agree with that. Yeah,
right.
The undercarriage.
Yeah, and he also folds. He does a deep fold.
You got to fold it. That's a given. Sure.
Well, we got to get out of the oven and move on with the show. But you turned me into a folder.
You got to fold. I don't know how you couldn't fold.
There's only a folder. I used to hold hold and kind of.
No, fold that bad boy.
I was doing 2 hands, dude.
Hey, well, let me just say this. Thank you, Longbridge Pizza. Thank you, Niels and Artie. We're so proud to have you guys as sponsors. We love your food. Longbridge, again, closed today, back in business tomorrow. We're trying to get Portnoy down there this week, and we'll definitely keep you posted as we go on that one. Okay, thank you, Longbridge.
LongbridgePizza.com if you want to order at all during this week. And everybody, there's going to be a ton of events happening this week. If you're in the city, LongbridgePizza.com to order ahead, or just go in and have a seat and have a nice cold beer and get a pizza there too. By the way, Triple E just commented on Portnoy's comment. So Triple E, I just saw you commented on Portnoy's comment. That a boy. Don Peralta did the same. Let's go. Let's go. Keep it going, boy.
And I want to say hello to all of our viewers on Cron 4, the Cron 4 Plus app, and we're streaming on Cron. Thank you, Cron family, all you Chronics out there. Also, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you may be. We got a couple of little tweaks to our schedule this week. I just want to throw that out there real quick. Wednesday night, we are going to we have to shift the night flight time. We're not going to do an 8 p.m. show this Thursday. Take 2. We're not going to do an 8 p.m. night flight on Wednesday. We're going to do a 4:20 show. That's usually our default time if we can't make a regular schedule. So we'll be on at 4:20 on Wednesday instead of the normal night flight. It's just a 1-week thing. Tony's got family stuff with his kid. It's all good.
It's my son's birthday. So
Big D needs to have a little birthday party. I ain't going to stand in the way of that, man. So we'll
the Big 12, dude. He's dropping a dozen on us.
Well, 12 is not as big as 13. That's the one that's going to throw you. Yeah. Because now it's like, okay, childhood's over. Here he comes with his teens now, and by the way, enjoy. Good luck with that.
Paulie, party's over.
How about that? We'll get ready for this. Just get ready for this phrase to be repeated multiple times throughout his teenage years and at high volume. Here, it's going to go like this. Get out of my room, Dad. Stuff like that. Yeah, just get ready. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. Dad, I already did it, Dad. Slam. All right. Anyway, thank you, Longbridge. We love you. And
what time is the show? What time is the show on Wednesday?
4:20.
Herb. Herb is a plant.
4:20 show Wednesday instead of the regular 8 p.m. night flight.
Herbs are good for everything.
Indeed.
Herbs are good for everything. Maybe get some BC Bud in the house for the 4:20 show on Wednesday, Paul.
Listen, it's not it's been known to happen. Have you sampled the latest crop? Have you dabbled?
Yeah, I have.
It's nice, right? Nice and light, and everybody has a good time.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is.
Dude, 2 different dispensaries have popped up in Belmont. In the tiny little town of Belmont has 2 new dispensaries in the last month.
As Chris Tucker said in the first Friday, the first one, he goes, God put this here for me and you. Like he's trying to convince Ice-T. He's like, I don't smoke, man. He goes, why not? God put this here for me and you. And so,
hey, dude, Rastafarians smoke herb because it is believed to have been growing out of King Solomon's tomb, dude. That's like one of the reasons why they smoke herb.
Well, King Solomon. What about the other guy, King Selassie or whatever? Selassie's like the head Rasta guy, right? Didn't he the king of the Rastas? Selassie?
That was the emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie.
Yeah,
So.
I'm not a black belt. Tony's the reggae guy, but Selassie is overseeing. He's at the top of the food chain, right?
He's the emperor. They looked at him as almost like a god, like a deity. So Haile,
I kind of look at him as a god or a deity. I don't even know that much about him. I just know he was involved with the Rastas, so I pay respect.
Totally looked at Bob Marley. I still look at Bob Marley. It's like, did he he seems like immortal to me. Like he doesn't seem like he ever existed in the human form. He was just kind of like this spiritual presence that just graced us for like 30 years, and then then he's now his spirit. I love everything about his energy, and I know that he spread his seed around.
He enjoyed many women. He enjoyed lovemaking. Let's just be honest. He was a black belt lovemaker. I want to say shout out Natural Mystic. Also shout out from Patty from Napa. Thank you for reminding us. We'd like to pay our respects to Desmond Wilson, who left us over the weekend. He played Lamont on Sanford and Son. I have to be honest. I was surprised at how the outpouring I saw for him, because I thought Sanford and Son was so in the rearview mirror. I didn't know that many people were moved by it, but it's funny. My dad used to watch Sanford and Son with me. He loved Sanford and Son. So I used to watch it with my dad, and I was a big fan. So respect to Lamont, rest in peace. And great stuff with Red Fox on Sanford. I was a big Grady fan too. You got Bubba, you got Grady. And how about Fred Sanford just yelling at Lamont, his own son, calling him, "You big dummy," calling him big dummy, dude. That was like his nickname. Sit down, you big dummy. Yeah.
Also, shout out to the Street Beater, which is the theme, the name of the theme.
Quincy Jones.
Yeah, written by Quincy Jones, the Street Beater. Paulie, so rest in peace. Thank you for that, Patty. And we'll get to supers in a second, Paulie. But I do want to say, before we get to Mark Cannizzaro, I am thrilled at this signing by the Giants for a 1-year, $12 million deal for Luis Arráez. I think it is a great move by the Giants. And I cannot believe that he wasn't re-signed. Dude, 2 players in the last 3 of the last 4 years, only 2 players have hit over 300 at 3 of the last 4 years. Luis Arráez, Aaron Judge.
He can hit. I mean, you're right about that. And that's one of the things that's been driving me crazy about the last few years at MLB is that, and I'm talking about league wide, is that guys just don't hit anymore. Most guys have like averages of 230, 240.
Paulie, let's get.
I don't give a damn. Get on base, hit the ball. So I love to see him. I think he hit 292 last year or something like that.
Can I just run down that? Paulie, listen to this, dude. 2020 or 2022. Actually, screw it. 2019. This is all his batting averages. 2019, 334. 2020, 321. 2021, 294. 2022, 316. 2023, 354. 2024, 314. 2025, 292. The guy is a contact machine. Guess, Paulie, last year, in how many at-bats? 620 at-bats, 21 strikeouts.
I can't.
21 strikeouts. That's I want him leading off. I don't want him to ever leave the leadoff position. That I created an offensive lineup, and I wanted to bounce this off you, Paulie, really quick.
Yeah,
dude, he led the NL in hits last year. He has at least 600 plate appearances.
You can almost stop right there, because once you say he led the National League in hits, I'm already sold. I'm sold. The Giants need that so badly, a consistent hitter. Now, where do you put him in the lineup, by the way?
Lead him off. He is your highest average hitter and your best contact hitter. You lead him off, so he gets guaranteed the most ABs per game.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that. Okay.
So I go Arráez, then I go Jung-Hoo Lee, then I go Adames, then I go Devers, then I go Chapman 5th. I don't want Chapman batting cleanup. And then I go Bader 6th, and then I go Ramos 7th, Eldridge 8th, Bailey 9th. That's what I see.
That's starting to sound a little better than what we've been used to the last couple of years. And again, I just appreciate the art of hitting, which is like a lost thing in Major League Baseball. So it's going to be nice to have somebody. I mean, honestly, Tony, the last time the Giants had a formidable hitter like that, this is going to sound crazy, but who just jumped into my head is Freddie Sanchez, who would come from winning a batting title, because he won a batting title with Pittsburgh. before he came to, now he got hurt. He won that ring in 2010 with the Giants, and then his career kind of ended because he got hurt. But that guy was like a professional hitter. Freddie Sanchez, like he was in the business of hitting. He might have been a Gold Glove too. Was he a Gold Glove?
Yes, he was a Gold Glove too.
Damn, Freddie Sanchez, hell of a player, dude. Too bad we didn't get more out of him. But like that's the last time we had like a guy who was like challenging for a batting title was Freddie Sanchez.
And I love it. And I love the contact ability of the first two hitters in the lineup because Jung Hoo Lee struck out 71 times last year. So not nearly as good as Arráez, but still second best contact hitter in the 1 and 2 spots, right? And then you get into the power, then you get into Adames, and you get into Dever, and you get into Chapman. I see on the chat some people, Los and Nutter maybe saying have Chapman bat 7th. There's no way they'd bat him 7th just because of what they're paying him. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that they'll bat him. I don't want him batting 4th. I feel like he puts too much pressure on himself. Put him in the 5 hole. I just put him in the 5 hole. Bader is like a second leadoff in the 6th spot.
Yeah, nice,
right?
Nice.
Bader, Ramos, Eldridge, Bailey, and then turn it over and get Arráez back in the mix. I'm very excited about the move, man. I didn't see that coming.
That's good. Yeah.
I didn't see it coming, and I was like, that is just wow. And that's such a buster move. That is such a buster move, man. So, and by the way, I noticed that the Red Sox just traded Jordan Hicks. Right.
By the way, I just sorry to interrupt you, but I just thought of a brand new song parody to complement your point. You said that's such a buster move. Let's do it. Let's get what was his face? The kid over there, Young MC. It's a buster move.
Yeah, so come on, Fatso. Come on, Fatso.
It's a buster move. It's a buster move, Tony. Get to work. All right. Anyway, carry on. Is Mark ready? Because I don't want to keep Cannizzaro waiting if he's in the waiting room.
Mark just entered the green room, but it's just funny because basically the Giants got Devers for nothing now except for Kyle Harrison because Hicks is now no longer a Red Sox and Harrison's like kind of I don't know, meandering in the starting lineup. So
by the way, speaking of Harrison, how did Giants rotation? What do you think? How's that rotation
get Valdez? If they could finish the offseason with Valdez, now we're talking that's a good offseason and they can compete. I was talking to a couple Dodger fans yesterday and they were like, damn, that's a good move with Arráez. And if you guys were to get Valdez, I mean, damn. I mean,
Dodger, they're just patronizing you, man. They don't mean that.
No.
The Dodger,
don't sleep on the Dodgers' age. They are older. Okay, except for they are older, and Shady Shohei's going to get caught doing something at some point. So
Shady Shohei's not going to play in the World Baseball Classic. I think he bowed out of that bad boy.
Boo.
Maybe he needs to like clean his blood, like Keith Richards used to do in the when he had to drain all the toxins out. Give me some new blood. That was Keith in the early 70s. Look into it. All right, I want to say this before we go to Mark Cannizzaro. Yeah. We have a bunch of supers to get to, and we'll get to you guys. But let's talk to Mark first because it's a busy week. He's traveling, he's covering the Super Bowl, he's got a lot going on. So if you're ready, Tony, we can bring him in.
I am ready. Marky Mark, welcome to the program.
Yeah, my God.
What's going on, boys? How are you?
Great to see you, Marky Mark. I love seeing your smiling face. Now, I'm going to take a guess, judging from the backdrop, you must still be on the East Coast. When are you flying out west?
I got a 6 a.m. bird tomorrow morning. Paulie, just to give you a little taste of home now.
Yeah,
a little Atlantic Ocean view right out the window. Right, that's nice. The office window.
Dude, shout out,
Tony. That's Jersey Shore, Tony. Okay, you got to come out and visit.
Are you getting beaten down by these like single degree temperatures, or is it a little warmer on the shore?
It is bare ass cold, and it has not stopped. I'm telling you, it is. I was out in California. I mean, I was out in Colorado last week to do the Patriots Broncos game.
Nice.
Snuck a couple days of skiing in out there because I'm a skiing junkie. We got more snow out in my deck right now than they got out in Colorado. We got pounded while I was away. We got probably a foot plus. Yeah. So,
well, shout out to the Cannizzaro compound too. It looks beautiful. The estate of a Mark Cannizzaro on the Oh, dude. And by the way, before we delve into all the Super Bowl talk and everything else going on, and I want to specifically talk to Mark today about a piece he wrote last week about Bill Belichick and getting denied into the Hall of Fame, which I find laughable. And we're going to talk about that. But Mark, just a quick Bruce Springsteen check-in moment between the two of us. Have you seen the film? Because the Jeremy Allen White film is now on Hulu. So you can watch it if you have Hulu. Have you checked it out yet?
I have not seen it yet. It is on my list of things to do. I have literally, last weekend was my 7th consecutive week on the road. So I did I was on the last four regular season games on the road, and then the last 3, for the playoffs. So, yeah, that is 100% on my list. He actually turned up like a week ago over at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank for for a benefit show. So he's, as you know, he just pops up everywhere.
He's
It's similar. I've always wondered why I am never at a show that Bruce shows up at. The same way I'm never invited on this podcast on Roby Tuesday, because I'm ready. I got robes, man. I'm ready to go.
Noted. I wasn't expecting that, but noted. Yes.
Let's toss that in the schedule. Just a random Tuesday schedule. We can talk about anything.
If we can get you in a robe, done.
Yeah. It's a done deal. We will definitely make that happen. And wait, you're going to be dazzled. Wait till you see Tony's. Tony's had some new additions to his wardrobe. He's going to blow you away.
That might fall into the too much information category I'm gathering. But
perhaps. But now, Mark Cannizzaro, I want to do a quick taking of your temperature with this Super Bowl. Since you were covering the Pats game last week, let's start right there. Drake May with the shoulder injury, it's starting to become a little bit of a story, and people are wondering how healthy he is. I don't know how do you gauge that and judging on what you saw?
Well, I didn't even notice he was hurt last week, nor did anybody. And, that is obviously because it's Super Bowl week. And I wrote some column the other day. There's going to be, Vegas should set the over under on how many times he's going to be asked about that, starting with tonight's media night this week. I suspect, by the time Sunday comes, they'll be the full 2 weeks removed from the game. They have to put these guys on the injury reports as they, if they're going to not going to practice full. So I'm not suspecting it's going to be a big deal. I really don't think it's going to be a big deal.
And how do you feel about this Patriot team? It's what they've done is really impressive. Vrabel, I think, is likely to win the coach of the year, and he's probably, warranted in winning that award. I don't know. There's something about this Pats team, and maybe it's just me, Mark, where I don't want to give them full due. But I don't know. How do you view this team? Are they as good as they certainly seem to think they are? They're in the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I think they got a tough task with the Seattle team in front of them. How do you view the Pats, Mark?
It's weird to me because there's a little bit of a dismissal and lack of respect on either side, because I think there's an element of people that don't want to believe in Sam Darnold,
right?
And that's just been the narrative of his entire career. Yeah. Listen, the Patriots have played a ridiculously easy schedule. I wrote a column about it the other day. Are they lucky or are they good? I think they're both. Yeah. This is a team that's won 16 out of its last 17 games. And Seattle's going in. I think they've won their last 9 and 13 out of the last 14. So it's like the perfect Super Bowl that way. I'll be stunned if this is not a last possession type Super Bowl. I really don't see Seattle running away from New England. I think the Patriots defense is too good. The Patriots run the ball pretty well. That tends to keep, teams in close in games.
Yeah.
But listen, Drake May's, he's 23 years old. He hasn't played that well in the playoffs, but that said, listen, Sam Darnold's coming off maybe the best game of his career last week, but this is also a guy that led the league in turnovers. I think he had 20 turnovers this year. So, and May was turning the ball over, up until last week in Denver, which was shocking because the conditions were spectacularly cool. Yeah. It was just like in terms of the snow and the wind and all that kind of stuff. As a fan, you love to kind of see that. But he didn't turn the ball. He didn't turn the ball over once in that game, and I thought that was the best thing he did that entire game. So each of these teams has its flaws, and it's weird. Like it sounds like you're not 100% believing in New England because I got the easy schedule. They only played 3 teams with winning records.
Right.
This year, they went 1-2 against them. They split against Buffalo and they lost to Pittsburgh. But I'm not really a believer in that. I think they're a pretty complete team. I think Vrabel is a really, really freaking good coach. And coaches can keep teams. They can scheme up to keep teams in games, which are things that Belichick did over his time as well.
Mark, I like how May used his legs against Denver and seemed to use his legs all postseason. Because if you look at his stat lines, they're not overwhelmingly good, but then he's using his legs at the right time. He's tough to bring down. And then on the flip side, I like how Mike McDonald in Seattle is he's not game managing Darnold, but he's also limiting what he's expecting out of Darnold, it seems like. And the chess match between these two coaches is what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I think that's cool, Tony. And just back to May. May had 400. I'm just looking at his numbers. He's put 450 yards rushing during the regular season this year and 4 rushing touchdowns. So he is a deceptively good runner, not just a scrambler.
Yeah.
And he did. I mean, quite frankly, I think his legs won the game in Denver the other day. I mean, the most back-breaking plays for the Bronco defense came when May was running.
That play call at the end of the game, the rollout to basically seal the game was a great play call. Really impressed with that play call.
So, I feel like, I think that's something to watch. Without question. I can't remember the chess match as you're talking about is going to be really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
The Darnold thing, it's interesting. He has had two completely different games. The San Francisco game, they really didn't need him to throw the ball because they were just completely dominated the Niners.
Right.
Unfortunately, I hate to bring that up in
no,
your territory.
All right. Hey, that's the reality. Yeah.
I mean, listen. I look at that game. The dam just broke on the 49ers. They were holding it together with Band-Aids and Scotch tape, basically, and that was the game. It all came crashing down on because they did a great job, Shanahan and Saleh and all those guys to keep it all together. But Sam didn't have to throw the ball in that game. I think he was like 12 out of 17 for 100 and change. Didn't even throw a touchdown pass, I guess. Basically, Seattle's able to do whatever it wanted to do against them. Now, last week, they knew they were going to have to score some points against the Rams because the Rams are prolific, and obviously, Stafford had thrown 47 touchdown passes or whatever it was this year, and that really opened my eyes, Tony, that Sam, because my thing about Sam has always been, I'm not sure he can put his team on his shoulders and carry it. Yeah. But he did do that last week.
He did. He
did. Like you said, probably the best game of his career.
Yeah, probably the best game of his career last week.
Yeah.
And what about, you were talking about, sorry, Tony, go ahead. Get it in.
No, that's it. That's what I was just going to say. I was really impressed. And I'm pulling for the Seahawks, and I'm getting flack for it because they're the Niners' rival and NFC and blah blah blah. But I'm pulling for Darnold because I like him, first of all, and second of all, I was just really impressed with how he's come on late in the season. Like against the Niners, we were waiting for one of those turnovers, and they never happened.
Listen, the narrative going into the Niner game was the fact that Sam stunk last year in the playoffs for Minnesota, and that was one of the reasons they didn't bring him back. And as we all well know now, very mistakenly put all their shells in JJ McCarthy's basket.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out so well as it turned out. But, Sam, didn't play well. I want to say the last regular season game last year for Minnesota. So it didn't look good late for him at the end. And so the narrative with him there was, he really doesn't perform well in the clutch. Well, what happened last week? Last week he was the best player in the field.
Totally.
So, Marky, you were just talking about, the chess match aspect of this game, and you mentioned how much you like Vrabel, and I like Vrabel too. I really do, and I think he's, worthy of winning that award. Which of these two coaching staffs, in your mind, is the stronger of the two, or which of these two teams has an advantage in terms of their coaching and coaching staff?
I'm a big proponent of Vrabel. I think McDonald's done a stupid good job, so it's hard to take anything away from him.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty damn close to even, but if I'm going to take anybody, I'm probably going to lean on Vrabel a little bit. But there's no distinct edge, I don't really think, on either side, in my opinion.
Right. And by the way, Marky, just on a social note, a personal note, when you fly out to the Bay tomorrow, I'm just curious because Tony and I have been talking about this, how the game is being presented to the country under the San Francisco umbrella. Oh, look at the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, the cable cars on Nob Hill. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, the fog rolls in, the majestic fog. But meanwhile, the game's like an hour down the road in Santa Clara. It's a big difference between Santa Clara. So where are you staying? Where do they have you situated when you come to town?
I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way in hell I'm staying in Santa Clara. I can tell you that right now. So, it's a little. I've got the NFL Network on my flat screen in the office, and like every beauty shot they show is Golden Gate Bridge and all that stuff. I'm like, aren't they going to show the rundown amusement park and the empty parking lots down in Santa Clara? Right. What are we doing that?
And now we have the added. I know, and now, Mark, we have this added kind of embarrassment of this whole substation story. Dude, no, that's it. Now they're starting to blame the substation on all the injuries the Niners have had. And who knows? I'm not a scientist. Maybe there's some truth to it, but it's just like, man, this whole Santa Clara thing. I feel like we're pushing the limits of what we can get away. I think I'm starting to feel like it's time to come back to San Francisco.
I'm speaking to your region or whatever you want to call it. I hate to be I hate to be that, I've never liked to be those columnists that write the story and just take a crap on the city that their team is playing. Woody Page was legendary for that at the Denver Post. He would just absolutely just excoriate whatever city that wasn't Denver that the Broncos are playing or whatever. But I mean, when people ask me about the Super Bowl, like, oh, so where's the stadium? I mean, honestly, I only have one word to describe that area, and it's soulless. I mean, it's just
man,
soulless.
Yep.
I mean, it's just, as somebody who covered games at Candlestick Park and San Francisco is literally, and we've talked about it before, it's my favorite city in the world. And I mean, my wife and I did our honeymoon there, and to not have the football stadium even within like the same region as the city is disgusting to me.
It is.
I mean, listen, I get it. It's money, and I'm sure that was cheap as sin to build that stadium down there, and and because the Niners are good, the fans are still going, I guess. I mean, they do sell out, but there's just zero atmosphere. It's just it's really disappointing. It's the only time I will be. Well, I shouldn't even say that because the teams are down in Santa Clara. I want to say the Patriots are staying at the Santa Clara Marriott or something. I think I'm going right there from the airport tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I was about to say the only time I'll be anywhere near Santa Clara is game day, but that's not 100% true. But what I will be doing as soon as I finish whatever interviews I have to do in Santa Clara, we'll be driving straight back north into the city.
That's
the media hotel is in the city, in fairness, and everything that's going on, surrounding the Super Bowl is taking place in town, obviously.
Right.
And Paul, I'm still waiting for those Killers tickets, by the way. I just need one, man. One.
I'm looking around. I mean, I'm asking. It's tough though, dude. All the Super Bowl stuff is really tough. I was telling Mark, Tony, that Dave Chappelle is doing a gig at Chase Center, and I heard starting price, like face value starting price, $1,000. And
Paulie, he's also doing a gig at the Chapel. Dave Chappelle.
Oh my God! Those tickets would probably be $2,000.
Mark, I don't know if you know the Chapel. The Chapel is a tiny little club in the Mission District, and it's a former chapel. It's an old chapel.
Oh wow!
You would love it. It's a great venue. Yeah,
and they have music shows there.
Yeah, the Stone Foxes, our buddy Shannon Kaler's The Stone Foxes just played there last week, and it's a great venue, but it's tiny. So the fact that Chappelle's going to show up there and do a gig there is ridiculous.
Wow.
That's just Chappelle being
Actually,
Chappelle.
you know what we're going to do? Let me take this opportunity because we got a lot of people in the audience, and these are people that know people. So, PMP Familia, Marky Cannizzaro needs Killers tickets. Who's got his back? Who can help him out?
I just need one ticket. I'm not even bringing anybody. Unless you want to go, or you can go, but I'm just trying to get in. I love the Killers. I'm a huge music junkie. I saw they were playing. I was like, all right, I got to go check that out. And then
where are they playing? Do you know where they're playing? Are they at Chase Center?
No, you know what? I have a weird feeling it might be one of those Super Bowl kind of sponsored gigs.
Right.
That's probably why it's so expensive, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well,
they are selling tickets on StubHub, but they're like $1,700 to walk in the door. Like,
no, can't do that. Yeah,
that's like a vacation,
Totally for a couple hours of music, and nothing against the Killers, but I wouldn't pay that for my favorite musicians on the planet. No. Mark, just to deviate from the Super Bowl for a second, do you have any feeling on two things? Do you have any feelings on Saleh taking the Tennessee job, and then the Niners hiring Raheem Morris over the weekend as the new defensive coordinator?
Well, I'll start with Morris. I mean, I think that's a good pivot for the 49ers, if you will, with Saleh leaving. I mean, he's a proven good defensive mind, and but I love the job that's I'm a Saleh guy. I think we've talked about it in the show before. I like Robert. I don't think he should have been fired when he was fired. Now I get it, his record wasn't great. I don't know, it was 20-36 or something like that with the Jets, but to be fired at 2-3 that that year he was fired was a joke.
Yeah.
It just shows how unstable and clueless the Jets ownership is, and so I love the job he takes. I've corresponded with him a few times since he took the job. He's very very stoked about it. The fact that he brought Brian Dable in to be his offensive coordinator is who is a guy who I really really like a lot too, and I think he's a really good coach and will be a good head coach at some point. The combo of those two guys, obviously both guys that got bounced out of New York, is a cool narrative in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. And they're both good coaches, and they got a pretty good young quarterback for Dable to work with down there. And I mean, one of my texts with Robert, he said, "I'm really excited about this one." Those are the words he used, and he is really fired up. So, the thing you worry about there is they fire coaches pretty quickly down there. So that's you hope that their ownership is has some patience. But that kind of goes for almost every club in the league. Minus Pittsburgh and Baltimore and whatever.
No doubt.
This was a really, not to get into a whole vortex here, but this off season to me has been the most bizarre. Like the coaches that have got, for John Harbaugh to be fired after the playoffs, whatever it was, the number for his 18 years, and then for McDermott to get fired from Buffalo after being in the playoffs 8 out of 9 years.
Crazy, man.
And I'm looking at it through the lens of New York football, which has sucked for a decade plus.
Right.
And we don't even get to the playoffs here. That's like an anomaly. Daboll took the Giants to the playoffs 3 years ago, and that's the only sniff we've had here. Since the teens. So. It's weird to see a head coach being bounced for after being in the playoffs 8 or 9 years when we can't even get have a team that goes 500.
Totally, I totally hear what you're saying. Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post is our guest, and I just want to spend a final couple of minutes, Mark, on the piece you wrote about Belichick last week, because I love the piece and everybody should check it out. Go read it online. Mark Cannizzaro talking about or writing about Bill Belichick, and I'm laughing again, being denied entry to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You mentioned the New York Giants. Just to remind people, he has 2 rings with the Giants too. So that brings his Super Bowl ring count up to a whopping 8. And the committee looks at that and goes, nah, you can try again next year, with your 8 rings, just put them on ice. And just remember, and I know you know this, Mark, but it's good to say this. Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Don Shula, those guys were all first ballot Hall of Fame, and they should be, deservedly. But I don't understand the lot, and I'd like you to speak to this, and you can talk about your column, is on what grounds could they possibly look at Belichick and say he's not qualified to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I think every one of those voters knows he's qualified. Part of the problem, and it's come out a little bit with some of the voters, the couple of guys that actually did come out and say they didn't vote for him was, and I don't want, it's like a complicated thing, but the process and the system they have in there, with the, they lump in the coaches with the veteran players, like these LC Greenwoods and those kind of guys who are probably after this year, probably not going to be on the radar again. So there's some guys that had that, they felt, an obligation to give those guys a shot now, knowing Belichick was going to get in there. But that said, the bottom line is your responsibility as a voter, and I'm not one of the voters. Your responsibility, in my opinion, as a voter, is to vote in the best damn people on that list. Yeah, and Bill Belichick was the best at what he did for our generation, and and many other generations as well, going back. Right. And that's like keeping Brady out because you wanted to slap him on the wrist for Deflategate, for deflating the footballs. I get it. It's not a good look. It's a stain on their legacy, but. Is Tom Brady not going to get in his first ballot? That would be embarrassing.
Mark.
So I think that there is an element of people out there that, listen, there's a lot of writers and media that have their noses bent out of shape by the on to Cincinnati kind of Belichick behavior in his press conferences, his dismissive attitude toward reporters, which was disrespectful. Yeah. But the problem is that shouldn't be a part of the voting process. I
agree.
No matter how much you might not like a player that, me, if I'm a voter and I just couldn't stand a certain player that I covered over the years who was disrespectful or just a bad dude, if you didn't like LT because he took drugs and did cocaine before games or whatever, that kind of stuff, at the end of the day, he still was the greatest defensive player on the planet. So absolutely. If you're a Giant writer and who happen to be a voter, and you got, ripped, by LT in the locker room a bunch of times, that doesn't mean you shouldn't vote for him. It's what he did on the field. Yeah. And what Belichick did, his body of work speaks for itself. So I'm sure that there was an element of some of the voters that didn't vote that felt like this was a nice slap on the wrist for him. Like, hey, you know what? You were an asshole to us. Yeah. You'll be an asshole to you now, and you can wait your turn kind of thing. But it's just a bad look. It's a bad look for the entire system and for the entire voting committee. I know a lot of writers on that committee and who are good friends of mine, and they're embarrassed by the result because it just is a bad look for the entire process and the Hall of Fame.
Well, and Mark, who doesn't have a stain or a blemish? Like that's what's crazy about this. Like everybody's made mistakes along the way, but Bill Belichick has made many great decisions and had many triumphs in his career. The fact that it's just a joke, man.
Tony, the thing is, like, and I wrote this as part of what I wrote in the column. 07 was Spygate. Belichick had already won 3 Super Bowls, with the Patriots prior to that.
Right.
And not to mention the 2 that he was a defensive coordinator for. And then he won another 3 after Spygate. So, like, either of those halves of his career were enough for him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And if you want to really get technical and be a voter that says, well, boy, if he maybe he just didn't get caught from some other stuff other than Spygate, so maybe he was a cheater all along. Well, you can't speculate on that. That's never been, proven or even brought up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you're just going to penalize him for Spygate, then you got to look at what he did before. It's like a Barry Bonds thing. Like, listen, Barry Bonds was a douche to a lot of people. Are we allowed to say that? He was on the
let it fly. Yes.
He was an asshole to a lot of writers forever. But before, and I remember, helping out with baseball coverage when he would come to New York and, play the Mets and talk to him. And he was like, not the big bulky guy with the gigantic head and all that kind of stuff. Then he was still the best player in the freaking league at that time.
That's right.
So, like, that's kind of my argument for him was like, all right, I get it. He used steroids like just about everybody else in his era did. But look at what he did before he was used steroids. He was still one of the best players in the game. So anyway, that's the Belichick thing to me. I thought it was, it was in a way comical because it was embarrassing, but listen, he's going to get in next year, especially after all the fallout. But how weird is it that Bill Belichick is becoming a sympathetic figure?
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, Marky, that'll be my last question today. And I appreciate all the time you're giving us. Thank you for that. But I wonder, and I know you know Belichick to a degree. You've worked with him over the years. You've interviewed him and stuff like that. Is there any part of you that sees a scenario where at some point he winds up back in the NFL, or do you think that's just that chapter is closed of his life?
I think that's closed. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think if he didn't get in that last cycle and there were a lot of jobs open, I just can't see it. And, I mean, listen, I'm not, he could do whatever he wants with his personal life and all that kind of stuff. But the whole, the young girlfriend thing and all that, you're bringing in an NFL owner is bringing in a lot of distractions, if you're bringing that whole program in. I know maybe that's not fair to say, but, I think, so now you're talking about a guy who's, in his mid 70s, with a 25-year-old girlfriend, who clearly wanted it. The other thing with Belichick is, and again, maybe I'm speaking, I don't want to speak for him, but he's a guy that's going to come in and run. He's going to take over everything. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's going to he is the face of the franchise kind of thing. And, maybe, does a team that has a general manager in place want to bring Belichick in? Would Belichick even work with some, Joe Schmo general manager or whatever? Maybe he will. Maybe he would. Maybe he just wants to coach the guys on the field. But I think that's past now, especially with the North Carolina thing. If he clears out, just say clears out after next year. He obviously had a terrible year this year. Yeah. If he bails after next year, you're looking at his, his resume. I was doing something. I'm actually writing a piece of Robert Kraft.
Nice.
Ever since Belichick, I'm just scribbling my notes over here. I mean, Brady left in 19, so without Brady, Belichick was 7-9, 10-7, 8-9, and 4-13. Those are his last 4 years as an NFL coach. And that's not to disparage that he doesn't have a good program or whatever, but is a team going to bring, I don't know, I think he's 73 now, maybe something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
If he bails from North Carolina after this year, you're talking about a 74, 75-year-old coach. How are you going to have a long-term plan with a 75-year-old coach? Right. I hate to do an ageism thing, but it's just. And the other thing is look at the cycle of coaches that we just had hired around the league in the 10, the 10 openings or whatever it was. I mean, these dudes are like 35, 38, 40 years old. Everybody's feeling young, and that's been the trend for the last few years. Oh, yeah. I think one thing we haven't discussed, which we're probably going over time, is this Rooney Rule thing has become an absolute joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really something needs to be done. And, Goodell's going to speak tonight. I'm sure he's going to be peppered with questions about that.
Yeah.
Because this has really now become I mean, it's literally become one of these forums. Oh, well, we just got to get these 2 interviews out of the way so we can actually hire somebody.
Right.
And it really, and that's not what the spirit of the rule was supposed to be. And,
No.
And the number of minority coaches that there. I mean, Saleh is the only quote unquote minority coach, from Lebanese descent to have been hired. And this is a third of the jobs in the league were open this cycle.
Yeah.
Other than Robert, who's already been in the business, he's already been a head coach. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, that. I mean, listen, I get it. Raheem Morris has had his chance already too. Hopefully he'll get another one. But there's just, there's a lot of examples here. It's not a good look for the league.
No.
You mentioned Raheem Morris. I was going to mention Raheem. I don't even think he deserved to get fired in Atlanta. I mean,
probably not. Yeah.
Selfishly, I'm glad that because he's the D coordinator, but it's like, did he really deserve to get fired in Atlanta with all?
Same in Buffalo. I know a lot of head scratchers around the league. I mean, like Mark said, I mean, the Bills have been to the playoffs 8 of the last 9 years. You're fired. Thanks. Hey, John Harbaugh. Same kind of thing. It's hard to figure it out. I mean, I guess I can't speak to that. But
and Paulie, Mark mentioned Belichick being about 73, 74. Not everybody can rock their 70s like Springsteen can. So
no, very few. Very few.
Right.
Yeah, he might want to take some tips actually from Bruce and the throw on the jeans and the work boots. It'd be a better look for Belichick. Yeah,
Bruce looks like a much younger. It looks like a much younger guy in the 70s than Belichick or anybody that I've ever seen. Because
question.
Does not look like a guy that's well in.
Skinny jeans and like he's still like sneaking into like
he's the boss, man. He's the freaking boss. He's always going to be looking good. That's what he does. Marky, listen, we freaking. Oh, sorry, you got one more? Go ahead.
I just want to know, Mark, when you come out west on a long flight, are you watching are you working? Are you binge watching a show? Are you diving into a playlist on Spotify or something? Like what's your approach on the flight?
It's really interesting you say that. First of all, my flight is 6 a.m. wheels up. So, and I have a window seat. So I'm hoping to just crank some tunes and lean my head against the window and pass out. But I am not a good sleeper on a plane. Yeah. So I actually literally like an hour ago just downloaded some Harlan Coben and Netflix series onto my iPad, just in case. But I'm just I do actually love to do work on a plane, but I've already looked at the seating on my plane and it's a crowded plane. Yeah. So I'm not going to have a lot of room, elbow room to kind of like work my laptop. But that's my favorite thing to do on a plane because it passes the time for me, and there's not a lot of distractions. I just throw some music on and write. So if I have enough elbow room to do so, I probably will do that. But I did download the whatever, I don't even know what it is, some series on Netflix.
Hey, hold on real quick, Tony. Bring up. We got a super from Mark before he goes because I don't want to keep taking a lot of Mark's time. But Dom has a.
I'm good.
Okay, show Mark the super, and I'm going to back this. This is one of our sponsors. Yeah. Go ahead, read this one to him, Tony.
Yeah, Dom Peralta says, Mark, check out Longbridge Pizza when you're in town. Thanks for joining PMP today.
So
yes.
Mark, I listen to you guys all the time, so I know you're strong. And I also saw you. I saw Paulie. Respond to a Portnoy thing, right? On X. Firing it up.
Yeah, so, well, we think Portnoy should go down there, and I think you would enjoy it too, Mark. Here's the thing. Here's what's the real identifiable kind of trait of Longbridge Pizza is that Neil, the owner, he makes his pizza with sourdough crust.
I'm all about sourdough.
Yeah, man, it really adds a whole different kind of flavor to your pizza experience. Anyway, check it out. I think you'll like it. I wouldn't send you to a place that wasn't rock solid.
Well, so I believe the 3 of us are dining someplace. On the air. We're locked and loaded for Thursday night.
Can't wait, Marky Mark.
One of my favorite joints in this. I could say it. We could say K Fico and Divisadero. I'm telling you, it's freaking awesome. I go there every time I go into town. Nice. So we will see each other there, and it won't be Roby Tuesday. It'll be Thursday, but whatever. We'll do that.
Listen, we will dine like gentlemen. I promise you that much. And I'm going to pull, you know what I'll do, Marky Mark? I'll pull a nice bottle of wine from Liz's collection, and I'll bring it to dinner. We'll pay the corkage fee or whatever. But I got some good vino for you too. So we're going to have a great time.
I have sipped wine with you and your better half, and she just she does not travel without good wine. I can
She's not messing around. No, she's not playing games.
She's not rolling in with a 2-pack of Sutter Home now. Okay, all right.
She's not coming in with a 12-pack of Strohs or Old Milwaukee. No,
There's no boxed wine in
no.
Hey,
Yeah,
I looked it up. The Killers are at the Palace of Fine Arts on Saturday night.
Nice venue.
Is that a good venue?
It's small but really beautiful. It's down near the water. It's kind of near the marina, that part of town.
For all of our listeners, I'm going to be the degenerate walking around going, I need one. Who's got the one? Who's got a single? That's what I'm doing.
Unfortunately, I think the Killers turned down playing at Great America across from Levi's and instead are playing up in San Francisco at Palace.
Good for them.
Hey, Marky Mark, we love you, buddy. Hey, safe travels tomorrow and very much looking forward to Thursday night, brother. Travel safe.
And to our listeners, I will work for one ticket. Okay. I'm just throwing it out there. All right.
Nice.
I'll keep you posted, Marky Mark. I'm on it, man. Safe travels, brother.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Cheers, man. There he goes. Mark Cannizzaro, everybody. New York Post. One of the all-time greats. I mean, at what he does, but also, Tony, one of the all-time greats at just being an awesome dude. You know what I mean? Love talking to Marky Mark.
I love, you can talk music, you can talk food, you can talk sports. I just love rapping with him about anything under the sun. And, I love his connection to Salah, right? And I forgot.
He covered him for all the time in New York. So again, you didn't mention it, and that's my bad. Mark covers the New York Jets. That's one of his big roles with the New York Post during football season. He's a beat writer with the Jets. So yeah, he definitely knows Salah.
Hey, also, Paulie, just to promote some of Mark's work too, he's also an author. He's written 7 Days in Augusta, Behind the Scenes at the Masters, and he's also written Tales from the New York Jets Sideline, a collection of greatest Jets stories ever told. So Mark is a busy dude, as you could tell, and he'll be out here coming out tomorrow. He'll be here the rest of the week covering the Super Bowl. So
we should have asked him this question. I'll ask you instead, Tony, and I want an honest answer from the heart. He mentioned the New York Jets and how just bumbling and they just can't get it out of their own way, and God only knows if they'll ever make the playoffs again. But worst franchise in the NFL, it's a 2-dog race. New York Jets, Las Vegas Raiders. Tony, go.
Oh boy, I gotta go Jets.
Okay. What is it about the Raiders that makes you feel? Think about it now. Give it some thought. I know, give it some thought. Yeah.
The Jets have at least never abandoned their fans multiple times in moving from Oakland down to LA, then back to Oakland, now to Vegas. Like, you know what? So part of me wants to change my answer, and just the bizarro Mark Davis world that we're all living in. And Clint Kubiak is going to become the head coach, it sounds like, right after the Super Bowl. And
they got Clint. They got Clint in their sights. So it sounds like he'll be named the new coach. You missed that story over the weekend. Tony is right. It sounds like Clint Kubiak is going to be named head coach of the Raiders after the Super Bowl.
If I'm a Raiders fan, am I supposed to get excited about that? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not, just so you know, Tony, I'm seriously not breaking your balls on this one. I'm not. But Tony, no, I'm not. This is like legit. I'm not being sarcastic. Tony was psyched when Pete Carroll was named head coach of the Raiders. Yeah. And I was skeptical. I mean, I know Carroll's a great coach. He'll probably wind up in the Hall of Fame. But Tony was like, dude, he's going to change the culture. He's got that youthful excitement. He's chewing his gum. He's marching around. Nothing. No change. Maybe even worse. So my question is,
it goes back to what we've talked about on the show so many times. If you do not have a good quarterback, you are not going to be successful as a coach, as a franchise. You're not going to. And they struggle with Geno Smith, dude. They struggle.
Geno Smith ain't the answer. And again, no disrespect to Geno. I have respect, but he's not the guy. He's not the guy, man. Maybe, I feel bad for this kid coming from Indiana now. It's almost like a death sentence. You know what I mean? He's going to be like dead man walking, and he's going to, what do you think? Do you think that kid will become a good pro player, starting with the Raiders?
Who, Mendoza?
Mendoza, yeah.
I have faith in him, and I was just before the show saw this girl who was a classmate of Mendoza's at either Indiana or Cal, I forget which one, and saying that he was like an active participant in class and like challenging the professor in class. Like,
you sure about that? You sure about that? Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Most, I shouldn't say that. Not most. Some collegiate athletes aren't exactly engaged in the academic
I'd
process.
say that's accurate. That's probably accurate. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think he's a bright kid. I think he's an enthusiastic kid. I think he knows how lucky he is to be in the position he's in. So you're going to get 100% from him all the time. So I'm rooting for him. And I do like the move because it brings back interest to the Raiders because they're struggling right now. And I've never been a Raider hater, so
me neither. I want the Raiders to be relevant again, and I kind of trip out on this kind of ironic twist to the Mendoza story too. How about the fact that he is a Bible thumping, God worshiping, everything he does is in the name of the Lord. Yeah. And he's going to be playing in Sin City. Like, it's kind of funny. It's like the worst possible place for him to go in a football sense and also like a spiritual sense. He's going to get, although his faith is so intense, I don't think he'll be tempted by anything.
Opening a chapel in Vegas,
Mendoza's house of worship. Come on in.
Father Fernando's, right?
What'd you say?
I said Father Fernando's.
I like that, dude. We need a Father Fernando out there. Tony, let me ask you a quick question. You are the executive producer of the show. After all, I'm just a measly peasant who runs his mouth into the microphone. You're really running S. Do we do super? I know we got 1 million supers, and we also need to do a stellar design read. So which way are we going and when is my question to you. Okay. Yeah.
Let's get to the supers, Paulie. They've waited patiently, and our apologies for not getting to them sooner, but it's going to rekindle some of the topics we talked about before, Mark.
Just a little patience.
Yeah. I've been walking the streets at night.
By the way, you know what I love in that video? If you can remember the video, it's just so long ago. But at one point, like near the end of the song, when they kick into that outro jam, they're like, ooh, little patience. You know what I mean? They're like kind of drifting out. In the video, Axl Rose is on the phone, slams it down, and starts kicking the phone with his boot, just stomping the phone. Do you remember that? The violence of an Axl Rose stomping the phone. I was like, that looks cool. I guess that's what rock stars do. They destroy phones in their hotel room.
Also, it had a cool whistle in that song too,
Yeah.
Totally. Sorry. Hey, we'll go back to the Supers. Here we go.
Yeah, that might be the one and only time we ever whistle on the show. Tony, go ahead. You're in charge.
Yeah, we don't need to be whistling. Escobar Cheeks the third. What's up, Escobar? Hope you had a great weekend, brother. Anyone else tear up through the in memoriam section of the Grammys? And dude, go ahead. Go.
I a little bit when I saw the Ozzy thing happen, and boy, I got to tell you too, I'm a little concerned for Kelly Osbourne and Sharon. They don't look healthy to me. Did you see Kelly Osbourne, bro?
Yes, yeah.
Boy, she looks pretty. I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but just stay healthy, you guys, for real. She looks a little too thin for me. And Jack Osbourne, they were all very emotional watching that War Pigs tribute. So yes, Escobar, yes.
Can't imagine what they're going through, but yes, I would like to have Kelly just like devour a double. Maybe
how about a chopped cheese? You know what I mean?
Get a chopped cheese. Maybe get a gabagool. Yeah. Can we send a care package? Why don't we send a Longbridge care package to the Osbournes?
Nolan's an arty, bro. He'll hop in the freaking pizza wagon and just point it towards LA. He'll just start driving down there and setting up in front of the Osbourne estate. Be like, here's your pizzas, here's your chopped cheese. Paulie said you need a chicken parmesan. He says like drop off all this food. The Osbourne be like, what's this for? It's from Paulie Mac. Eat up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's concerned.
I am a little concerned. I don't want to break balls because I love the Osbournes. But what do you think? I didn't think Kelly is looking very good, man.
No, she's definitely taking the slender thing a little too far.
Yeah, but there's a limit. You know what I mean? There's a limit. Let's not go too far with that, you know?
Yeah, it's okay. Bring it back, Kelly.
One last thing. It's funny. I think I don't want to get into this, but not all men like skin and bones. Sometimes a little, you know what I mean? A little something is good to have. Gotta be able to hold on to something, Tony.
100%. 100%. That's why they're called love handles. Okay. right. For men and women. Yeah. I've got them holding on to them right now as we speak. Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm squeezing them right now. Tony, go ahead. Yeah.
Escobar Cheeks, one more super. He says the D'Angelo and Roberta Flack tribute was amazing. Had me in tears, dude.
Escobar, you have good taste, man. We don't talk enough D'Angelo. That was another really sad passing of bro. 25, dude. Yeah. We got kicked in the nuts with the amount of great musicians that left us. You're right. And I saw that too. The Killing Me Softly, I think they played, right? Was that the tribute Roberta Flack was singing? It was nice. Yeah, thank you, Escobar. I feel you, buddy.
51 years old, D'Angelo, by the way.
You know what sucks? I don't know if you guys are going to remember this. This is very obscure, but he did not tour very often. He didn't play live very often. And his records are amazing. If you never checked out D'Angelo, definitely do that. He was a really gifted guy. And he played at the Fox Theater the first time the Golden State Warriors were in the finals, the first time they played Cleveland. I remember that. I'm like, wow, D'Angelo's in town. And I didn't go because I wanted to watch the game, but that was the only time I ever came close to seeing him. And I actually didn't go to the gig. Did you ever see him, Tony?
Never saw him, but if you've seen the Sly Stone documentary produced by Questlove of The Roots, D'Angelo's all over it. He's great in it. And little did we know that he was ill during that time. So it's just,
and he's drilling butts the whole time in the slide doc. He's drilling butts as one does. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Escobar. Much love.
From D'Angelo and Roberta Flack, we go to Steve Groschel, who says, "Never trust a big butt and a smile." #GoCat. That's Sir Mix-a-Lot. We were talking about that earlier in the show. I don't remember talking Sir Mix-a-Lot, but yes, you that is true. Steve, you never trust a big butt and a smile.
Thank you, Stevie Groschel. One of my favorites right there.
That's why, because we were talking about New Edition and Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and BBD and all that stuff earlier.
Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, Tony.
Yeah, dude. New Edition, man. Come on. Can you stand the rain, Paulie? Mr. Telephone Man, cool it now. You got this, cool it now. Ooh, watch out.
Can you stand the rain? Tony looks like rain. How's that sound? Can you stand the rain? Arrow looks like rain. Yes.
How about no rain? Blind Melon.
Okay.
Talk about gone too soon. Shannon Hoon, Blind Melon. My goodness.
I know enough. I know. I need everybody in the group today to stay with us. No more checking out for a while. By the way, Tony was talking about grabbing his love handles a few minutes ago. I'll tell you a funny rag story. There's a million of them. Here's another one. One time, because Rags, I don't remember what year this was, but this is a funny Rags moment. Maybe you want to try this at home, Tony. Rags, when he would get too heavy, he would get really pissed at himself, and then he would start working out round the clock. So one time he was on the treadmill, and he's working out, and I'm hanging out with him, dude, and he's on the treadmill, and then he just starts, ready for this, Tony, punching himself in the stomach. And I go, "What are you doing, man?" And he goes, "No, yeah, I'm just pissed at myself. Here he comes. Look at his message. Body punches." So he'd be like, "I'm pissed at myself and I'm punishing myself." And I'm like, "Well, okay, I'm not going to disrupt anything here." But he just start punching himself in the stomach on the treadmill. Have you ever tried that at home, Tony?
I have not, but I can envision Rags, if he wanted to lose weight, being putting on a hefty Glad bag or something to make him sweat bullets while he's working out, just to make lose weight quicker, like the wrestlers do.
They used to have these things. We call them fat tubes. In college, it was a rubber, a little, a bustier almost for guys. And you put it on, it's the dumbest thing. You're supposed to sweat off weight that way. I mean, it might sweat a pound of water weight, and then as soon as you drink a glass of water, it's right back on. So yeah. There's not much efficacy to that one. Tony, are we still going through supers, or are we done?
Going through supers. Steve Groschel, thank you for the Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Thank you, Groschel.
And Steve Groschel, one more time, says "Emotions in Motion" by Billy Squire. We were talking emotions earlier in the show. So Steve, thank you so much for the super. You mentioned Billy Squire earlier.
I did, and Grosch, check it out, bro. And I'll bring it up here if I have to. I actually have that on vinyl. I have emotions on vinyl. And by the way, can I do a quick show and tell just for you, Tony? Just talking to you for a second.
Sure.
I brought this up here for you. First of all, I felt Mike Reno. I only keep one record at my side all the time, and it's Loverboy, because you never know when you just need to show it. But I added another one because you were talking about this the other day. You're not ready for this, but here it comes, Tony. You asked for it, you got it. And I got this record from good old Patrick Connor. He gave this to me. I swear to God, this was a Christmas present from Patrick Connor some years back. And you were talking about this album cover recently, Tony. Soak it all in, my friend. Soak it in.
Oh, the forks, dude. Yes, the forks.
Yeah.
Go closer. Can you give me a little closer? Give me more forks. Yeah. What the hell, dude? What? Dude, that guy needs to see Dr. Matt Young, by the way.
Great call. Let me see his mouth. Hold on.
Rough looking teeth. Oh, that's rough. And the long to mustache hairs going over the lip. Man, He needs some work done.
Blackout. Blackout. Anyway, that's for your head, Tony. Your little show and tell right there.
Love it. That was phenomenal. Made my day, dude. Here we go. Escobar Cheeks checking in with another super. He says, "Oh, he's doing the numerology with us." He says, "For Diamador Lenore,
Nice.
number 2. Good call.
Woodall. Nice,
dude.
We talk about that linebacking crew they had. First of all, those guys won a ring. Those guys won the last time the Niners won a Super Bowl. Lee Woodall was on the team. Woodall, Norton, and Plummer. That was a solid linebacking core, man.
31 years ago, Paul. Remember, I also used to think that Woodall looked a lot like
Evander Holyfield.
Thank you, Evander
Like
Holyfield.
twins. It's crazy. Like they're identical, man. Yeah.
Wild stuff.
I don't get enough Woodall. Great call, by the way. We don't get enough Lee Woodall, like at the Niner events and stuff. Somebody bring in Lee Woodall, for God's sakes. Where is he?
Call. Where is Lee Woodall?
I don't know, but I want some. Give me some Woodall. Yeah.
I'm trying to find Woodall. Low Steve doing some numerology. Bonds 25. Chris Webber number 4.
Nice.
Dude, I have another number 4 with the Warriors. Remember Ronnie Cycli?
Hell yeah.
Ronnie Cycli wore number 4.
I've always liked the number 4. There's something about I like that number. Especially
my son Dom is number 4 for flag football. So he's number 4.
I like number 4. Wasn't Brett Favre number 4 too?
Favre was 4. Yes.
Yeah. I like 4 in baseball, especially if you're like a leadoff guy. I don't know. I just like the number 4.
Lenny Dykstra was number 4.
Bingo. There you go, buddy. There you go.
And he says the Niner doc had me in tears for real. Los D, I can only imagine. I have not seen it yet because we had a little league welcome party to the little league team, the little league Giants. Instead of having a season ending party, we like to have a season opening party to break the ice with all the families and kind of hang out. So we did that last night at the Canyon Inn, by the way, Paulie. Tim is there. Tim said hello. He said to say hello to the PMP Familia, the owner of the Canyon Inn.
I need a lot more Tim. I got to tell you, I feel bad. I might start punching my own stomach on the treadmill today to discipline myself, Tony, because it's been way too long since I've been at the Canyon Inn, and I'm mad at myself about that. That's my own fault. And anybody, I can't do this enough. And they're not even a sponsor, but I have to say this. If you love 49er football, get your ass to the Canyon Inn as soon as possible. Trust me. I mean, Tony, I'm pissed at Tony. It took him several years to get me in there. And once he did, dude, the first time I walked in there, my jaw hit the floor. I couldn't believe it. It's like, it's like a Niner museum. Get your ass down there. That's all I'm saying.
Here's Dom and his buddy Jimmy in the back room of the Canyon Inn last night.
Top Jimmy Cooks,
top Jimmy Cooks. There's Dom and Jimmy. That's in the back room. That old Niners sign used to be hung up at in Rockland at their training camp.
Really? Yeah.
And remember that Niner clock, the old Niner clock? It doesn't even work. It's just an old Niner clock.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't need to work. Just keep it up there. Yeah.
So yes, Los, thanks for bringing it back, brother. And we'll be talking flex funding tomorrow for sure. SGA Sports Talk is a super. Thank you for being a super, SGA. And he says, hi, Paulie and Tony. Thoughts on the Morris signing? Raheem Morris. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. You know, the one thing it's kind of, I mean, we just talked to Mark Cannizzaro about this indirectly, is that if you think about it, I like it. To answer your question, SGA, I like it. I think it's a good move. He's solid. This is just food for thought. This is the 5th 49er defensive coordinator in the last 5 seasons. Every year we basically lose our DC. Every freaking year this happens.
And you know what stinks, Paulie, is hearing Cannizzaro talk. He mentioned that hopefully Raheem Morris gets another head coaching job.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone after this year. I would expect that. I mean, especially if the 49ers have a good year, he'll be gone. That's what they all want. They all want to be head coaches.
That's what I wanted with Schwartz, though, man. I feel like Schwartz would have been a guy. And I know he's under contract with Cleveland, but he's very disgruntled in Cleveland. I don't know. I don't want to fall in love with Raheem Morris and all of a sudden he's gone again. Like there's no continuity, man. So you gotta feel for these players on defense where they're learning new schemes and new, I don't know, just attitudes and it's like a program change every time that you have a new coordinator.
And they're toying with my emotions and my psyche. I got to say this too. If we have any therapists in the community today, because I'm going to have to start seeing a therapist on the side just to address the fact that the 49ers are giving me like fear of abandonment issues. You know what I mean? I fear of abandonment because my defensive coordinators, they abandon us every year, like clockwork. I mean,
I just want to go to a therapist and play this.
We would all like to be able to live an uncluttered life, a simple life, a good life.
That's all. I just want to go to a therapist and play that and say, can you help me get there?
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Doc. You just walk in and press the Garcia thing and it's a make that happen. Go.
By the way, speaking of therapy,
Yeah.
Paulie, you should watch the show, and everybody, PMP Familia, watch the show Shrinking with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. Fantastic. I think a new season just came out. I think there's 2 seasons already. The 3rd season's coming out. Great show.
While we're chucking shows around, let me chuck this one out there too, because I got to recommend this. I saw like the first half of it. I'll finish it either tonight, tomorrow. Netflix has a great new documentary about the 1980 Olympic hockey team that beat the Russians and everything. Freaking amazing. They interview all the guys today. It's basically a bunch of dudes from Minnesota and a bunch of guys from Boston. Those are like the 2, probably the best hockey areas we have in the country. And these college kids, man, they beat the best team in the world. The Soviets were beating like NHL all-star teams at that point. And we brought these college kids out there, and I know a lot of you know the story, but the Nutter knows it. Yeah, the Nutter. See, it is. It's awesome. If you want to feel a little patriotic pride, you watch that thing and you can't help but feel good. I mean, that was one of the might be the biggest sports upset in history of all sports. So check it out on Netflix. Speaking of cool shows, yeah.
Paulie, I saw multiple requests for us to get slapped, so stand by.
Okay. Another one. Need it. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah. I'm like jerking my head like I'm getting hit. Yeah.
No, one more time. There we go. And you know what? Since they didn't tribute Bob Weir the way I wanted them to tribute with the performance last night, just stand by.
Saturday night. Yeah. One more Saturday night. Saturday night.
All right. Carrying on with supers. Thank you all for being supers, by the way. We love this. This is so much fun. Dom, thanks for the super during Mark's hit with us, because we'll get him to Long Ridge if we can. Aaron Kask checking in. He says, I think we got to add the Browns to the Raiders Jets bleep sandwich, dude.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Aaron. And by the way, speaking of the effing Browns, dude, you know what we got to do? We got to dismantle this so-called Pro Bowl. They should just do. We talked about this earlier in the show. Put this in the cut the crap episode when we do it. There's no point to this anymore. Shador Sanders is a Pro Bowler. Okay, that's all you need to know. Aaron Kask, couldn't agree with you more. I think they should just do away with it. Honestly, there's no point to it anymore. I mean, it's not even like it's not even a badge of honor. It's not even like being recognized by your peers now. When Shador Sanders is a Pro Bowl quarterback, you can be done with the Pro Bowl. There's nothing else to see here. Done. Go away.
How did Shador do in the tug of war? Did you catch the tug of war? How do you do?
I'm more curious to see how he'll do when he does the rock climbing challenge, Tony. That'll be amazing. That really determines what kind of football player he is. Maybe the jump rope segment, he can win that competition. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
Speaking of rock climbing, go watch Alex Honnold climb the Taipei 101 if you haven't watched it yet on Netflix.
You love that guy. Yeah.
Dude, he's amazing.
I know.
He's probably the greatest athletic feat ever.
He's like a real life Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like climbing up the side of a building is nuts.
Holy, what if he has a cramp? What if he's got to pass gas?
What if he's got a leak? How does he take a leak?
What if he has an itch? What if he has like the hiccups? What if he has the hiccups? Dude?
What if he gets a phone call? What if he gets an important phone call? You know what I mean?
And he's got a little pouch of chalk, and that's all he's got, dude. The guy's just like crawling. That's just
it best be like, hold on, you guys, I got to take this. This is my weed guy. Hold on. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Well, and also in Free Solo, which if you haven't seen Free Solo, see Free Solo. The guys that are filming it are like, they told Alex, I don't want to do this because if you fall, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be filming that. You know. That's a good point. I don't want to be involved on any level, with your own demise. I don't want to be filming you falling 35 stories. All right, Tony. Polly said, no, we got more. Polly. Patty from Napa. What's up, Patty? She says, P.S. You will have homework for the Bon Jovi challenge, and I'm boycotting the Super Bowl. So, yes, I've seen Patty. She does not want anything to do with the Super Bowl. She doesn't care about it.
Fair enough. I understand, Patty. I really do. And you can do as you please. You run the show. Now, a quick question for you, Creative Tony, executive producer of the PMP show. Is Patty the guest DJ this Friday or
I believe so. Yes, we have to talk offline, but I believe so. And we also have another one coming in the future.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. I've been texting with. I don't want to give away the person who it is yet, but we have somebody else in the works. 2 other people in the works actually for the upcoming weeks as well. So we'll go Patty. We can do John Bond all damn day Friday. So let's set
I've already selected. I'm actually looking forward to this, Patty. I got to tell you for real, because I do a lot. I've been picking on Patty for years about Bon Jovi, and it's all in good fun, and she knows that, so don't worry. But it's good that she does this. She's going to back me into the corner and be like, "Okay, smart guy, Mister. I don't like Bon Jovi. Let's see you pick a couple of Bon Jovi tracks and then break them down." I think you know what, Patty. It's already in my head. I was thinking about it this morning, so I think I already have my first track. I'm going to pull a second one, too. I'm kicking ideas around now, but I look forward to it. And Patty is going to be a great guest sponsor of the musical assignment. We would encourage all of you, if you're new to the show or you're old, you've been with us all, the whole time. I think that we would love to have you as a guest sponsor. So email us at paulyspod@gmail.com. All we ask you to do is make a donation to the show. It does help us, believe it or not. So does liking and subscribing. Please do that. I don't say that nearly enough. Everybody like and subscribe, pound the like, whatever, do your thing. And then, you know what I mean? And then all the guest DJs, we would love to have you on the show. That's all. We would love to kick it around with you. All the people that have done it so far have been great. And, we'd love to have you, whoever you may be. You're welcome to join us.
Yes, go to YouTube at Polymax Particles at YouTube on YouTube, and please hit the like button and please subscribe. We need to feed the algorithm, Polly. But stand by. I have 2 things.
Utah, give me 2.
Okay, nice.
Aren't John Bon and Kraft like buddies?
I'm not. I can't. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Patty probably knows those, so I don't know about that.
So I don't know. Are we trying to create like Patriots vibes on Friday? I'm fine with that because I've already created my Seahawks vibes. So that's fine. And then secondly, Patty texted over the weekend saying that Joe Walsh played "Life's Been Good" at the Sphere in tribute to Bob Weir.
That was great. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Patty. And I hope you enjoyed the shows. I'm sure you did. I guess Joe Walsh is like recovering from COVID or something, right? But it was great that he dedicated that song to Bob Weir. That would have been a funny hang session, hanging with Bob Weir and Joe Walsh at the same time. There's been a lot of smoke in that room. I can tell you that much.
Totally. Stand by, Paulie. Stand by. We have Dub City. What's up, Dub City? I was watching old Charles Grodin interviews from Letterman back in the day this weekend and remind me of you guys. What the hell? What the hell?
What the hell? What the hell?
That's from Midnight Run, where Robert De Niro's breaking into the car and Grodin's just standing there. Oh, what the hell?
What the hell? What the hell?
By the way, I'm due to watch Midnight Run. One of my most underrated online comedies of all time. John Bon McCaffrey, says Rags. That's going to be me on Friday. I am going to be John Bon McCaffrey. I might even do my hair. I might curl my hair, give myself a perm.
I'll be Tony Sambora then. That's fine.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you know who I want to be? One of the great rock names of all time. Patty, is this the keyboard player? I just know the name, and I love this name. You ready? Rock and roll name, Tony? On keys. Alec, not Alex. Alec, A-L-E-C. Alec Such.
Oh.
You understand? Alec Such.
Nice.
On key. That is such a Spinal Tap rock and roll name. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alec Such on guitar. Such. You know what I mean? Yeah, me. Hey, Mr. Such. Good to see you.
Great call.
Tony,
hold on. Sorry, Paulie. We still got a few more. Escobar, we'll go through these. Escobar, thank you, dude. That's like you're on fire today. He says, you mean DJ Ronnie Cycli? Get him on the Calvin Harris bill. Hashtag, I did not know Ronnie Cycli. I didn't know Ronnie Cycli was a DJ. Did you, Paulie? I did not know this.
Not at all.
I love it, though. I love it. Cycli, very handsome. One of the more handsome warriors.
He's got that whole Greek thing going. Yeah, he's like a Greek god. The ladies love the Greeks. I do know that. Yeah.
Dude, ladies love Ronnie. Hashtag smash the like button. Hashtag no shaman. Hashtag F the C Cox. Hashtag F Shady Shoheg. Hashtag no butt stuff. Hashtag free the thumb drive. Let's go. All right. Dan Cochimilio, our partner in crime. Hey! Dan Cochimilio.
What's up, Dan?
Dan's a super. Thanks, brother. He says, speaking of rain, did you guys hear the John Fogerty remake of Who'll Stop the Rain with Bob Seger?
No.
Classic. On the album, wrote a song for everyone. I have not. I bet you it's fantastic.
I would be willing to bet the same. Thank you, Dan, for the heads up, because Tony and I love music, and neither of us knew about this. And I love me some Seeger, dude. I'll back
Seeger. I love me some Fogerty, dude.
Hell yeah. Me too. Thank you, Dan. You're on it, brother. Contributing musically. I love that. And by the way, Patty from Napa making me feel extra bad now. She goes, yeah, by the way, smart guy, Alex Such is dead. I'm like, oh. I didn't know that. What do I know? I didn't know. And he was on keys too. I said bass. The guy was a keyboard player. My bad. No, I would never make fun of the dead. I would never do that. That was an innocent riff. So anyway, yes, thank you.
I apologize for laughing at the man's passing, but the way you delivered that was really funny.
Yeah.
And by the way, hey Dan, get ready to line your hats up for the NL West with a little Luis Arráez. I don't know, man. By the way, Dan Coach Emilio, when he comes on the show next, you'll see he has all the Major League Baseball hats in the background.
Yeah.
And he aligns them by division, and he aligns them as the current standings, which is freaking amazing. It's so great. So we'll have to have Dan on a bunch of times during the baseball season. Paulie, and I think Escobar Cheeks one more time. He says, who's going to win the Tiddlywinks Pro Bowl game?
Bro, that's what I'm saying, Escobar. What's the point? Who's watching that crap? Even my son was pissed off. He's like complaining to me. He's like, Dad. And he'll send me like clips. He sent me a clip of like Mark Gastineau annihilating Joe Montana at a Pro Bowl game. And I think it was in 85. Like Joe is going back to pass and Gastineau comes on the blind side and just lays him out hard, really hard. And he's like, Dad, look, they used to play. I'm like, no, James, I know. I grew up watching the Pro Bowl. I know we used to watch it. And it's not even a game. There is no game anymore. And Escobar, I'm with you, bro. Enough is enough. Just stop doing it. There's no point to it. You know what I mean? If you want to send the players a gift or something, maybe that's all they need. But again, Shedeur Sanders, Pro Bowler, I'm out. Count me out. That's it.
Yeah, we don't need it. Don't need it.
No.
I was trying to find the Gastineau getting or pummeling Montana, but we don't need to watch Joe.
Have you seen it? Look, he crushes them, dude.
Yeah.
He hits them like it's an NFC championship. It's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It's brutal. But my point is, they actually used to compete. I can remember Ronnie Lott laying a few dudes out at Pro Bowl games. Seriously, like he wasn't messing around either. Those guys took it seriously back then.
Yeah, they wanted to win the freaking game. You know? Now it's tug of war on the beach, Paulie. I don't know.
Rock climbing, Tony, jumping rope. Yeah, maybe we can have a video game challenge. Maybe they can each play. What's the big Grand Theft Auto or something on a big screen? That'd be incredible.
You can play Fortnite, Paulie. Can play Fortnite.
Yeah, a little Fortnite. How about Angry Birds? You know what I mean? How about Why don't I get Shedeur Sanders playing? I don't know. Some other guy who shouldn't be a Pro Bowler.
Minecraft. I would do Minecraft, Paulie.
Totally.
Or you go Stranger Things, and they can get a great Dungeons and Dragons session going on.
Yeah.
Patty says, go to Wiki before Friday and do your homework. Alec was a bass player and passed away.
Sorry, I am. I really am sorry. I offer my respects to the Such family. I didn't mean any disrespect.
Don't piss off Patty, Paulie.
I'm not. I know. I'm already in trouble. I know. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble on Friday. I'll play it straight, though. I'll give you all the Bon Jovi I have. And I might even surprise you, Patty. I might surprise you with some positive words. Okay. I have to do a spot for Dom, for the love of God, Tony, and we got to get out of here too. So
we got to get out of here. We got to do a spot, and I want to introduce. I want to tell people about my son's Super Bowl squares. We're selling Super Bowl squares for my son's Cooperstown fundraiser. If anybody wants to get involved in Super Bowl squares, we're going to do Super Bowl squares. I can do it at the end of the show.
And it supports your Little League thing.
We're going to Cooperstown in July, and of course, it's not exactly cheap to bring the kids and the families and everything. So every kid is doing like different fundraisers. So we're doing a fundraiser around the Super Bowl and buying Super Bowl squares. So
okay, Tony, we'll get your fundraiser cooking right after I talk to you about Stellar Design from our good friend and brother in arms, Dami Peralta. Stellar Design, the San Francisco Bay Area based industrial design studio, shaping the future of product innovation. They create award-winning designs with meaningful connections between people, product, and brand. And whether you are an individual that has an idea, like a germ of an idea, and you need some visuals to help bring it to life, talk to Dom Peralta. Dom, it's funny, you guys probably know Dom, myself, and Tony and Patty, and we talk about ideas all the time. And Dom is like, oh, let me sketch something up. And he does. The guy is like a nonstop creativity machine. So if you are like an independent contractor, you're an advertising guy, a marketing guy, or girl, what have you, get Dom on your side. You'll be amazed how quickly he can kind of crank out high quality art to accompany any campaign or any special event that you might have. It doesn't matter how big your company is or how small your company is. You might be a Fortune 500. You might be an independent contractor. As I mentioned, Stellar Design offers partnership to help you achieve out of this world design. Go check out some of Dom's work. You've seen all the merch and the posters and things like that he's done for the Polymac Particle Show. I know a lot of you own the gear, the shirts, and we'll keep replenishing those. You can always order more gear, but visit stellar.design and make design impact. And Dom will definitely help you achieve that. Email him at dominic@stellar.design. Design 650-796-3144. Big T, go ahead, buddy.
I have an idea. It just popped in my head right now, Paulie, because you know how I've talked about my pipe dream of the Oracle Park, Chase Center, mini spheres, and then new Niners Stadium, right? All along the bayfront there.
And as I do, every time you try to say something, I interrupt you. Let me do that again real quick because you said pipe dreams. I want to shout out my favorite smoke shop on Haight Street, Pipe Dreams.
Oh,
they have been there since
spot.
the 80s, as far as I can remember, and they're still going. You know what else I like about Pipe Dreams, Tony? They're way out on the fringe. They're not like in the heart of the jungle on Haight. They're kind of like past Masonic, like going east, and anyway, I love Pipe Dreams. Just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah,
dude, don't sleep on Lower Haight. Lower Haight is money. You got Kate's Kitchen, Tornado, by the way, just great spots. Tornado, I think it's cash only and it's just beer.
There was a time, dude, back in the day when San Francisco was a rougher town. Lower Haight, you kind of rolling the dice going down to Lower Haight.
Barbecue, dude. Nikki's Barbecue and Spaghetti Western. Remember Spaghetti Western? Come on.
I know, of course. I used to take you to Spaghetti. Dude, I love Nikki's Bar. I know, I miss it. Lower Haight used to really have a lot of heart, and it still does. It's cool, but it used to be kind of edgy, like almost dangerous.
Right,
and I kind of like that. Yeah.
Dude, it was like Peter Tosh stepping razor. You know?
Slicing away, brother. Slicing away.
Watch my size. I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous. If you want to live, you better treat me good.
You're going to eat lead soup, okay? You're going to eat lead soup. Yeah.
These are lyrics, by the way. These are Peter Tosh lyrics from the song Stepping Razor. So anyways, that's why the fact that they made the Marley movie and did not include Tosh.
Yeah, you can be done with that too. Throw that Bob Marley movie on the pile with the Pro Bowl. And by the way, I want to tell you this too, Tony. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Make sure you check out the Blue Oyster Cult cover of Steppin' Razor.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, I will.
Check it out. It's out.
Back to my pipe dream of Dom Peralta. I want Dom and Stellar Design to design the new Niners Stadium. That's going to be south of the mini spheres.
Tommy, whip me up a new stadium if you could quickly. And I need it to hold about 70,000. So you can sketch that out for us today. I appreciate that. Tony's got you working on stadiums now. No big deal. Should just have that done by the end of the week. Yeah.
I guarantee you Dom's concept would be better than the erector set down in St. Clair.
I do too. Yeah.
I promise you.
Dom will build us a station with no substations at all. You know,
no substations and access to every single sphere, all three spheres. If you want it, if you get season tickets, you get access to all three spheres. It's a great deal. And you got Longbridge Pizza around the corner. You got Standard Deviant Brewery right there, and then you got Chase Center north of you, and it all ends at the granddaddy of them all, the freaking gem that is Oracle Park. God, I love Oracle Park. But Paulie, I see Arkansas Dave leaving. Peace out, Arkansas Dave. He says, peace out, everybody. I'm losing signal on the Ozark Mountains. I love
nice. Arkansas Dave, much love. I appreciate the support. I really do, man. Enjoy the Ozarks for me. Give them some love on my behalf.
All right, Paulie. So we're stoked on Raheem Morris. We're stoked on Luis Arráez. You're stoked on John Bon Jovi and Bon Jovi Friday coming up.
I am actually. I am. I'm looking forward to having Patty on. That'll be awesome.
I want Arráez to be the new Giants leadoff hitter. Just cut the crap. Put him in the one hole and just let him do his thing. 21 strikeouts last year, dude, and over 620 at bats. That's insane. Harris, by comparison, I think Devers had 192 strikeouts last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Bader, the new guy Bader, who batted 277. He hit 277 last year, but he also had 136 strikeouts. So 21 strikeouts. That's Tony Gwynn stuff right there. That's seriously. Love it. And he's a contact guy. He's a lefty. I'm a lefty snob. I apologize. I'm a lefty snob. And put him up at the top of the order. Then give me some Jung Hoo, the other contact guy. And then give me Adames and Devers and Chapman and Bader and Eldridge and Ramos and then Bailey. So that's what we got, Paulie. And then lastly, if anybody's interested in Super Bowl squares, we're just doing a fundraiser for my son. And I just thought I'd throw it out to the PMP Familia for bleeps and giggles. No pressure, no nothing. But if you are interested, just email pauliespod@gmail.com and I can send you the link and you can grab a square and know that you're helping out Dominic Ryan get to Cooperstown in July, which will be a lot of fun. We're going to be there the same weekend that Jeff Kent's going to get inducted, so that'll be cool.
It won't be hot in Cooperstown in July. No, it won't be humid either. But
No,
it'll be
and
hot
I'm also gonna sleep at like on Rags' couch for like 3 nights too. He doesn't
Oh.
even know that yet. He doesn't know that yet, but I'm already gonna do it. So
You and Rags, yeah, you definitely need to have a powwow with Rags. You can watch him punch himself in the stomach while he works out.
I'm gonna send Megan and the kids to Manhattan, and I'm going to Rags.
That sounds like a good idea for everybody involved. It really does. And by the way, final thing for today. I want to say, I meant to mention this earlier. You know what's really funny to me? All the Santa Clara talk, and this is the last thing I'm going to do today. I was looking at the weather forecast. Guess what, kids? 50% chance of rain on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah.
Dude, hilarious.
I'm just throwing that out there. How great would that be? Yeah.
It's not just us and all of us in the Bay Area here that think the Santa Clara thing is just
the jig is up. Yeah, hey Jed, the jig is up, bro.
We all know from the other side of the country in New Jersey.
Well, he said the word. He said it's soulless down there, and that's
he said the broke down amusement park and the empty. I mean, like, dude, it's not just the Bay Area's vibes here.
You're looking for parking for the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think we got stuff over by the water slide. Just see if you can fit there, and if that doesn't work, it's parked by the haunted house. You'll be fine. I mean, what are we doing here, Tony? What what are we?
I don't know, man. And by the way, I see people asking the squares because it's a fundraiser. The squares are $25. So we're asking people just if you want to buy one square, go for it. They're $25, and I think there's payouts after every quarter, of course, first quarter, halftime, third quarter, end of the game, and then I think I forget what percentage goes to the Cooperstown fundraiser. But thank you for asking in the chat, you guys. I see you asking Pine Needle Nutter, guys. Thank you guys. And Anthony Merkovich checking in saying that that's a hell of a tournament because it's very competitive. I keep hearing that they put teams together from all over the country to just play in Cooperstown and beat the crap out of anybody. Like kids that don't even know each other. They're just like, hey, we'll take a kid from Texas, a kid from Louisiana, a kid from North Dakota, whatever. And they bring these guys together and they don't pay a dime. Somebody funds the whole thing and then they just go kick everybody's ass. So we're not expecting to, if we can win a couple games and have a great time, that's the whole goal. So
yeah, hey, it's like Billy Bob Thornton said in Friday Night Lights when he was getting his ass kicked at halftime. He looked at his team and he goes, listen, he goes, I don't care what that scoreboard says out there. Okay. You're going to have to come up with some kind of speech like that. Hey, listen, guys, I know we're down 19-3. It's the third inning. Don't even worry about that. All right, Tony, thank you for everything today. Thank you, Merkovich. Thank you, Will Sparks. Thank you, Noemi, my dear. You got Dami Peralta. You got the Nutter. You got Aaron Kask. You got Merkovich. You got freaking Pine Needles in the house. You got Dan from NorCal. You got SGA, Matt Stenson, on and on. I love you, all you guys. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the show very, very much. We'll do it again tomorrow. Low Steve, what's up, brother? Tomorrow's your day. Patty from Napa, queen of the scene. See you on Friday. I'm out. Tony, that's it. It's in your hands now. Take us home, kid.
Paulie, tomorrow we got to do a healthy bookmark segment. That'll be a lot of fun. Oh, on the way out, dude. On the way out, SGA Sports Talk. Dude, just became a PMP member for 2 months. Thank you, SGA Sports Talk. Thanks for the support, brother. And appreciate that. And again, like and subscribe if you can at Polymax Particles on YouTube. And a heavy bookmark segment tomorrow. We got to do the Aussie tribute. There's some fun stuff. Eyes Wide Shut. We got to check in Eyes Wide Shut. We got some other stuff we can go and get into tomorrow, Pete. So
thank you, brother.
Until then,
business hours are over, baby. It's business. It's business time.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Peace to you. Peace in the Middle East. Everybody be cool. And we'll see you back tomorrow right here. Same bat channel, same bat time. High noon, y'all. We will be ready to rock. Everybody have a wonderful Monday. I think Sharks at Blackhawks tonight. You can get a little Sharks action in you. And then tomorrow the Warriors are taking on, I believe it's Philly at Chase Center. We'll talk about that as well. But enjoy your Shark game and watch that Niner parts 3 and 4 tonight on the AMC channel. Parts 1 and 2 were amazing. I was crying. I was getting angry at Jed. It was a combination of things going on. We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right, everybody. Have a great Monday and cheers, y'all.
Remember, no night flight Wednesday, 4:20. Starts a 4:20 show on Wednesday. Thanks, y'all. See you tomorrow. High noon.